Well, here we are again at the, no, get in focus, thank you. Here we are again with the Flustercuckage of the Sonora. Now, as you can see, I added a bolt there, here a bolt, there a bolt. There's a screw there. You wonder why I'm not using a bolt in both places? Well, because I couldn't find a bolt that would fit. Well, I found one later, but it's too late. It's already been screwed in. So this is why they don't have me on this old house, because the houses would fall over. So anyway, what I've done is I've added this little leg there to prop up that, so I don't need to have this counterweight there. And I have, as you can see, surrounded 3 sides of the front of the speaker and added this little plate here, which will help with what's going to happen in this area. There is the sharp end of the screw, so I will disguise that cunningly. Yeah, you heard me. Cunningly I will disguise it. Wait and see how cunning. So I will add this plate here, L-beam there, girder, whatever it is, and it's going to be screwed in this case, bolted in, not screwed in. And it will as well have a plate like this, also part of the structure, because this corner has to hold the speed control, which has to be pried off of the, oops, it's already pried off, unscrewed off. Where did I put it? It's right here. This, you see, you know, whoever designed the shoes I'm wearing doesn't know how to design them, because the, how does this work? See this, I believe, yes, this goes just like that. Or maybe it's, I have to figure this out. Anyway, this, by turning this knob this way or that way, sliding that lever, I guess is what it is, causes this thing to push down or come back up, which causes this lever to push down or come back up. And when you push it down, it causes the governor to twirl faster or slower. Slow and fast, it says on it. And not unlike the things you see on locomotives. And even pocket watches have a slow and fast thing to adjust for the ineptitude of the watchmaker. Now, it's not so much that, it's things like barometric pressure, temperature, dust, who knows what all. So there we go, that's the size I want. So this is going to be screwed onto that. This will also be screwed onto this, and then I'm going to connect this thing. This used to be on the side of the cabinet as a place to stick your crank. We all need directions on how to stick your crank. And the crank comes off because it sticks out so far. Yeah, I know, you're going right into the gutter. Your crank sticks out too far. Well, the crank does stick out too far. So you unscrew it and you put it inside so you can store the Victrola, or in this case Sonora, more compactly. But I'm going to probably leave it out. But I want to use the actual hardware. I don't need this there. It doesn't need it for, well, maybe it does. By attaching it to here and to here will make this be less wiggly. right? Does that make sense? So as I'm constructing this, I'm remembering my youth. And my youth, God damn it. In my youth, I had an erector set. And I never really liked it because the little tiny screws and the little bolts and the little tiny nuts were sort of really flimsily made, and you couldn't really tighten them. And I think part of that was so that you could easily take your tractor apart to build the helicopter, or the ocean liner to build your swing set, or whatever it was you were going to make after you finished making the thing you made. You could easily take them apart. You didn't need to get Dad's help to use the, what is it called? WD-40 or whatever it was to loosen all of the bolts, because they just didn't stay put. And that's one of the things that worried me about the Victrola. If you wind it up and you play it, all the little vibrations of Benny Goodman and his orchestra would cause all of the little bolts to untighten, and then the thing would fall apart in a disaster. But I'm going to be using some Loctite to permanently tighten the things that have to be tightened. So, with that in mind, the other thing I didn't like about these little things is they had really, really sharp edges, and it just bothered my tender skin up my fingers. They didn't develop the calluses that Alan Grazzini had on his fingertips, but my fingertips were more delicate, and they just irritated them to do this. So here we are so far, the Flustercuck for the Sonora Part 2. And I'd show you how I would construct it, except I think I would be swearing too much and I would be banned from YouTube. But this is fun so far. So far it's been fun. And as you see, it's very dark. It's because the light is there. So I'm sort of building it by braille. If I put the light on the side where my camera is, I could see what I'm doing. But what fun is that? When you're building things like this, it's better to do it in the dark. Note to self. Do it in the dark. Okay, that noise you heard was a text. Anyway, I better take that text, so we'll talk to you later. Bye.